So this wasn't the cleanest setup. You had a lot of whipsaw going on today, but even if you were using your fundamentals, so just on a fundamental basis, the trend is bearish. Your bias is definitely bearish. 200 below the 800 is trending down. That's your bias. So if you're looking at a 15-minute chart, for example, I'll drop down to a lower time frame in a second, but you did have a nice little shark fin here. Wasn't quite around that 67 to 70, was at the 62. But that was around London session. Okay. And you see we didn't break the 200 here. So typically after that, what are you looking for? You're looking for those red FEGs to form, right? So you did have a red FEG here. So the news was at, let's see what time the news was today. 2 p.m. That's what I thought. So at 2 p.m., which would be right here, you had that big push up based on the news, which came right into this FEG area, right? So that's what I mean by I'm not really trying to guess the market to try to catch this up move. But if it does align with the strategy, aka you see it comes into an FEG that hasn't been fully fulfilled and you're in a bearish sentiment right now, I'll definitely run the risk to take that trade and then just place your stop, kind of at the top of this FEG zone. Typically, that's what I do if the recent high is too far off. Like, for example, I would consider the recent high to be here, but I'm not really trying to take a trade here and have my stop way up here on a 15-minute chart on NASDAQ because it's super volatile. But I will take it right dead center as the news pumps it into that area. And then just have my stop, like I said, at the top of the FEG zone. So you could use it for that to try to trade the news. Like I said, I don't think it's a high probable strategy to try to trade around the news. But if you're going to do it, I'd rather look at it this way versus trying to predict, okay, Powell is going to say this and it's going to shoot the market up. Let me try to catch that long, if that makes sense. I just like to stick to the setup no matter what noise is on the chart, and then just have my risk management on point, and that's really all you can ask for. Okay, does that make sense? Even as you can see here,
thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Even as you can see here, the market closed down here today, reopened up, and as you can see, prices kind of went back into this FEG here, and now what? We're pulling away from that. So if you know the dominant trend, which you can just use the EMAs and just the literal eye test, that's really high probable, of course, as well. Trade with the trend. If you just see those retests of those nice size FEGs. Now, when I say nice size, this is what I'm talking about. This is a minimum nice size. This is a great size one. This is what I consider small. Even though this one's small, as you can see, that's kind of literally where price reacted and rejected from here. But I really like to see those wider FEG gaps. Now, if you're on a smaller time frame, see, yeah, the FEG doesn't go back as much in time here. All right, let's see here. But if I go back in time, the news that happened at 2 o'clock actually came into, it basically cleared this FEG here, went right above it, and then actually dropped. So if we go back to the bar replay one more time, let's just go to right here. This FEG that's created with this big candle is where price reacted here. So if we go back, and this is, like I said, the 2-minute chart, this is what I like to trade off of when I'm day trading. Let this play out real quick. Bouncing right off the 800. Our signature setup, price below 800, 200 cross below. What did I always tell you guys? You're going to get a retest of that 800. We dipped right below that, created those FEGs. All right, so now I'm going to speed it up. Speed up a little bit more. So when that news eventually came out at 1400, which is right here, let's see what price ends up doing. So the news came out right here, where my mouse is. Let's just wait. All right, news is about to hit. All right, news hit. She had this violent just wick action right into the zone here. Could have taken a trade here, stop at the high. never hits your stop loss, and then boom, you have that nice push down. So like I said, if I'm going to trade the news, I would trade it like that. I wouldn't try to guess which direction that first move is going to go, because it very well could have pushed down as well. So I'd rather let them unfold their hands, show their hand, and use my risk management and take the high probable setup in the FEG area. And that way, if I'm wrong, my stop is very limited. All right. Hope that made sense. Yep, not too fancy. All right, cool. Nice FEG setup we just had on NAS. So I wish I saw that. I would short NAS because we just touched the 70 here, and this is the first FEG. So, looking good there if you're in a short. Quick thing as well, if you're on the Forex side, which I've been talking about a lot with the GBP USD and Euro USD, the dollar still looks strong. So as the dollar continues to be strong, I'm looking to short the EU and the GU. So right now, EU, we're sitting right below that 200 EMA. You can see we kind of just rejected off that, actually pushing down. So, any close above and below the 200 EMA has been a go-to entry for me. But also you can see we've been playing around in this FEG zone here. So definitely watch that going into the morning if the dollar continues up overnight. And then same thing for GBP USD. Right now we're bouncing off the 800 on the 15-minute chart. So definitely looking pretty juicy for the shorts there. Looks like we're breaking market structure here. So especially if we get a retest back into this FEG, I think it's a very good setup for the sales as well for GBP USD. So that's a trade idea for you Forex guys going into tomorrow, or even going into tonight for the London session, because like I said, the dollar looks still very strong. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, I had Ape up as well. I'll talk about the article in a second, but the founder of Ape, I think I have the article here, is facing investigation from the SEC. So basically anything attached to them just went down. As you can see here, when the news dropped, Ape just tanked. So I'm actually still have a short bias on Ape until some of that news gets cleared up. As you can see now, it's kind of bouncing off this 50 EMA here. If you were to take a short here, definitely just place a stop here at about 474. But it's actually looking very good for a short right now. TDI is breaking the bands. So, just keep an eye on Ape if you're on KuCoin for those short opportunities. I'm not sure exactly what all he was getting pro for. I think they thought some of the Bored Ape NFTs and how they distributed the Ape token violated some laws with the SEC. But if you want to kind of look into that article, keep up with it. I'm putting it in the chat right now. But that's another trade opportunity this week is short Ape until the news kind of gets cleared up.